Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. I am Shane Davis, and this is Yanzi Lin, and we are talking and drawing. And today we are talking about, which we normally do, the comic book industry and how manga is absolutely crushing it. They have been for a while, actually. And then there was the whole pencils down thing that kind of, again, gave manga a little bit of a leading edge. But before COVID and before pencils down and all of that, there is this book, this manga, which just came to an end, My Hero Academia. And let's get into it. Why Marvel absolutely is happy this book is over and absolutely acknowledges that they have been doing superheroes better than them.
There was this Deadpool manga that came out, as Shane said, around the COVID era. And surprise, surprise, they managed to secure a rather well-known guest artist, which is the creator of My Hero Academia, Kohei Horikoshi, to draw one chapter exclusively where you have All Might and Deadpool combining their powers to beat Thanos' ass, I guess. So I guess people were like, wow, look at that. It is a meeting of two superhero universes. Now,
Right.
you guys don't forget that Kohei himself is a huge fan of Spider-Man, okay? He's like, oh, Marvel is very influential in my work and stuff. And Marvel decided to say, tip of the hat, guy, we love your character too. So they had this in the most recent arc, which is the final arc of My Hero Academia, by the way. The lead villain does this pose, and then they had Deadpool mirroring that pose recently
Yeah.
as well in the Deadpool manga. So it's like, tip of the hat to you, tip of the hat to me kind of thing. So you think, okay, well, My Hero Academia is over. That's it. You won't see any more Marvel crossovers whatsoever with Deadpool, right?
Hopefully not.
Well,
boom. Marvel and Weekly Shonen Jump exchange art to celebrate final volume of My Hero Academia. Now, we've looked, and from our eyes, we cannot find that this is printing anywhere. Now, there could be something happening later on we don't know about. But there are two exchanges of artwork here, and one is drawn by the artist of My Hero Academia, featuring Spider-Man, obviously. And, it's a nice, I don't know, it's a nice piece, of course. It's a very good-looking Spider-Man. But what's interesting to me is, and for a couple of reasons we're going to talk about, and one of them being that the American comic industry is creatively bankrupt and has ignored its fan base, is a very sexy black cat. This is drawn by Humberto Ramos, an American comic book artist. And all the females from My Hero Academia, well, some of them, not all of them. What I really want to point out here is we got boobs, guys, and we got a very sexy Marvel character, sure. But what we're not seeing here is a Captain Marvel. We're not seeing a Miss Marvel. We're not seeing any type of SJW woke character here. I feel like this is a great example of a couple of things that are going right for obviously manga and going absolutely wrong for American comics because we basically forgot basics. And that sex appeal and dynamics, things like that do come into play in selling comics. One of the things that, at least with My Hero Academia, I would argue that it's been like one of the top selling superhero books. I mean, I think it's undeniable that it's the top selling superhero comic probably in years that really we can't take credit for because it's a manga. It's done overseas. It doesn't matter how much it's influenced by us. It kicks our ass. I mean, when I worked at DC Comics, Dan DiDio was well aware of the book and all the characters' superpowers and kind of resented it in a sense. And this is a guy that was handling Teen Titans. He was handling the Justice League and literally watching somebody across the ocean in Japan basically do superheroes better with brand new characters. There's no 80-year legacy in these superheroes, and they kind of have their own system too of going to school to learn how to be heroes. It was so dynamic and new, but old at the same time. Everybody kind of recognized what we loved in superheroes with this manga. And it's weird that the American comic book industry through all this time could never get even a handle or grip on their own IP. And now this manga comes to a conclusion. It ends, which is, again, another thing that the American comic book industry, Marvel and DC primarily, cannot do. And again, this creator is already talking now about the work, doing thumbnails on his new book that he's going to write and draw. So it's like there are so many lessons to be learned from My Hero Academia for Marvel and DC that I don't think they'll ever listen to. But in the end, they couldn't wait to get their characters that this guy would care to draw next to his characters because that's how important they've become over the few years they existed.
I want to point out one thing though. The fact is that Marvel did actually cheap out on producing this art exchange. Now, traditionally, I think in the fandom sense of what art exchanges is I draw your characters, you draw mine, we do it for free, nobody makes money off it. And it's kind of hard to imagine that, you see, because although we have Humberto here, the original artist who was slated to do the Marvel half of the exchange was supposed to be Oliver Coppel. That ain't cheap. So they're rolling out their top tier talent to do essentially what we think is a free art exchange, but it could be printed eventually, who knows? So
yeah, but it would be very smart for Marvel if they could get a crossover, even if it's just a cover printing or something, which I know will probably never happen. But it would be a very smart thing for Marvel because Marvel, in my opinion, needs My Hero Academia a lot more than they need Marvel.
Trust me, the Japanese are not saying, oh, I'm going to go out to the comic shop and buy a copy of this cover because they drew Marvel characters on it. They aren't. Not especially when they don't have, that cutesy appeal that My Hero Academia artist is known for, exactly. But on the other hand, though, you have a lot of people here in the States and in other countries saying, oh my gosh, they drew My Hero Academia with other Marvel characters. I got to collect all the My Hero Academia merchandise. And then they go out and buy it. It's kind of like the whole thing right now with the whole IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and Naruto crossover. You're not hearing the Japanese say, I'm going to go out there and buy the crossover at my local gaijin comic book store. I'm not hearing that at all from the Japanese fandom. On the other hand, I'm hearing a lot of manga fans in the States saying, I'm going to go to a comic store and buy this crossover manga, comic,
right,
whatever. So.
Yeah. And I know I'm giving Marvel and DC a lot of crap for not learning anything from My Hero Academia, but do understand this type of closing the chapter on the story, having some sort of a story structure with an ending and stuff like that is oftentimes the one thing they can't do. We rarely have ever seen this published by Marvel and DC in a story like that. And it's usually even like Watchmen they go back to and they pull it back open and do more with it. So I don't think there's any hope for the American comic book industry actually learning any lessons from this. But it's ironic, when you see these characters together, that one thrived, and it's like, yeah, we thrived, and now it's over. And Marvel's just like, yep, next adventure of Spider-Man, and the only thing left to do is woke agendas and stuff like that because we cannot just do basic fun hero stories.
Or maybe the 200th reboot of Captain Marvel, maybe.
Right. Ironically, though, this took me a second to actually really accept that this is Black Cat, that Marvel isn't putting up Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel here as a leading female character. Now, obviously, I'm sure that this had a lot to do with the creator of My Hero Academia, because if Marvel had their way, it'd probably be Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel or Brie Larson, whatever, right there looking at you, super strong woman, right? But anyways, guys, if you will, look down below, leave us a like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Tell us what you think. One of the lessons here for sure is creator-owned comics. If you guys haven't, please go out and check out 9livescomics.com. We have stores. We have comics in stores that ship out tomorrow. Also, we're running our third campaign on Inglorious Rex. This is Shane Davis's Inglorious Rex 3. Over $250,000. Look at this, $256,214. We are trying to defeat the evil, which is Inglorious Rex 2, $258,000. If you guys will, please go check this book out. I'm sure you'll love it. We have 3 books in this campaign, plus some variant covers and our very own toy, our first toy actually, the 232 Master Racer. Please go check this out. The links are down below, and we will leave you with a video for this comic book and catch you guys again with another video.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Truth always hurts worse. Doing good till first, reverse, now you last. Blast of the past. It's cool though. Last card, play it right. Uno. We never let up, been down forever. Sick man, we fed up. Know that we tired. Wake up the beast that's been sleeping inside. It's time to ride, we ready to slide. Hard-headed, I will not listen. If you do not get it, that's your bad. Keep up in the sky like we see you feet up. Metal meets metal, it's no keeping up. Sniper division, it's no seeing us. This here is earned, ain't no hookups. Swift you on the eat, gotta cook up. Next level on the way, better look up. Swift you on the eat, gotta cook up. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm